more on this long-running topic. We're joined now also by Phetoe, Cosatu's General Secretary, also on the ANC's call on the business unusual approach of resolving this energy crisis by declaring a state of disaster. Phetoe, good evening, and thank you very much for making time to come talk to us this evening. Some have called it a political gimmick. Others are raising concern. I see ATM saying the just transition money from the US is going to be looted under this state of disaster because all the necessary laws that will be in place would be disregarded for emergency procurement. The IFP saying Parliament must play its oversight role, pay careful attention to how money is being used. Why is Cosatu supporting this call?
Well, thank you very much, and good evening, Thabo, to your viewers. I think Cosatu is supporting this call on the basis that the challenges that we're facing of the load shedding in this country requires an urgent attention, and it requires a team that will be overseeing and monitoring so that this load shedding that we have been told that it was going to be for the next 24 years must be reduced. As we submitted our call and our request to the President of the Republic of South Africa when he was doing the consultation with all the stakeholders or the constituency, as a federation of labor, we submitted that we will request the President of this country to call a state of disaster so that he focuses on these challenges, but also appoint a command center that is going to face this matter that we are facing and reduce the load shedding to 6 months, not to that 24 months that we're told about, which is 2 years. And we think that it will also be able to assist. It will be able to focus, it will be able to monitor, it will be able to make sure that all the challenges that Eskom is facing, they are restored. It will not be one day. That's why we said within 6 months this load shedding must be ended. And we think also that we have also made a submission that as government is doing that, as the eye in the government is started today, they must also take into consideration the call of dealing with the corruption and criminal element that has happened, that has taken place in Eskom and other areas where it was exposed. But also our call is that we do not expect that workers and communities or the society should be punished for what has happened. That is why we have called, and that's why we support a call for the state of a disaster on this energy crisis.
Yeah. The urgency, one can argue, always existed. The urgency was there even 5 years ago. Urgency of dealing with load shedding was there even 10 years ago. But the ANC's leadership never really showed any sense of urgency and in dealing with the matter. Instead, there's been conflicting messaging coming from one minister and another, public enterprises, energy minister, saying two different things. What would this particular move bring that would make them look differently in this matter and act with a sense of urgency? I'm trying to understand that. It's always been urgent. I mean, we all know the impact that the load shedding has been having on the economy. Just the 200 days alone, it said it's costing us close to 5 billion in terms of the GDP of this country. That is urgent in itself. Why do we need a state of disaster for politicians to take this matter seriously?
Well, in answering your first question, that it was there 5-10 years ago, but it was not treated as agency, and that I think you can ask the government or ministers in relation to that matter. We felt that the way it has happened for now, this time, it really requires a serious attention. But secondly, is that at that time they were dealing with the issue of unbundling, and we raised a number of issues during that time. And those issues we think that were not taken seriously, including the issues of the social compact. But secondly, in our discussion, as I said, that in a consultation with the president, but also as we're part of the National Executive ANC NEC Lekgotla last week, and there was a commission that was specifically given to deal with the energy crisis. We did raise this issue of ministers giving a conflict, contradicting messages, and that is why, as Cosatu in particular, we supported that the president must consider this as going to be in one department, and that department should be the Department of Mineral and Energy, so that they are also able to communicate after 3 weeks or on a quarterly basis. They are able to communicate proper messages and update the people of South Africa in relation to this matter.
That is all. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for coming on, bringing that clarity there. That's the General Secretary of Cosatu, Phetoe. We continue.